Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Of insufficient quantity to meet a need. A poor salary. People without possessions or wealth, considered as a group. The urban poor need assistance. Deserving or inciting pity. Oh, you poor thing. Characterized by or indicating poverty. The country had a poor economy. Having little money or few possessions. Deplored the gap between rich and poor countries. Lacking in quality or substances. A poor land. Of insufficient quantity to meet a need. An inadequate income. Lacking the requisite qualities or resources to meet a task. Inadequate training. Displaying or suggesting a lack of maturity. Jejune responses to our problems. Of insufficient quantity to meet a need. The jejune diets of the very poor. Lacking interest or significance or impact. Jejune novel. Of insufficient quantity to meet a need. Money is short. Cheat someone by not returning him enough money. At a disadvantage. I was caught short. The fielding position of the player on a baseball team who is stationed between second and third base. Marked by rude or peremptory shortness. The salesgirl was very short with him. Low in stature, not tall. He was short and stocky. Accidental contact between 2 points in an electric circuit that have a potential difference. Create a short circuit in. Quickly and without warning. Less than the correct or legal or full amount, often deliberately so. Regularly gives short weight. Of memory, deficient in retentiveness or range. A short memory. Lacking foresight or scope. A short view of the problem. In a curt, abrupt and discourteous manner. He talked short with everyone. Not holding securities or commodities that one sells in expectation of a fall in prices. A short sale. Of speech sounds or syllables of relatively short duration. The English vowel sounds in pat, pet, pit, pot, put, or short. Primarily spatial sense, having little length or lacking in length. Short skirts. Primarily temporal sense, indicating or being or seeming to be limited in duration. A short life. Tending to crumble or break into flakes due to a large amount of shortening. Shortbread is a short crumbly cookie. The location on a baseball field where the shortstop is stationed. Without possessing something at the time it is contractually sold. He made his fortune by selling short just before the crash. People without possessions or wealth, considered as a group. Deserving or inciting pity. A hapless victim. Of very poor quality or condition. Contemptibly small in amount. The company donated a miserable $100 for flood relief. Characterized by physical misery. A wet, miserable weekend. Deserving or inciting pity. Miserable victims of war. Of the most contemptible kind. His miserable treatment of his family. Very unhappy, full of misery. He felt depressed and miserable. Deserving or inciting pity. Inspiring scornful pity. Inspiring mixed contempt and pity. Their efforts were pathetic. Deserving or inciting pity. The shabby room struck her as extraordinarily pathetic. Deserving or inciting pity. Piteous appeals for help. Inspiring mixed contempt and pity. Pitiable lack of character. Deserving or inciting pity. Pitiable homeless children. Bad. Unfortunate. Inspiring mixed contempt and pity. Pitiful exhibition of cowardice. Deserving or inciting pity. A pitiful fate. Of very poor quality or condition. Characterized by physical misery. Spent a wretched night on the floor. Morally reprehensible. Deserving or inciting pity. A wretched life. Very unhappy, full of misery. Wretched prisoners huddled in stinking cages. Of a quantity not able to fulfill a need or requirement. Insufficient funds. Of a quantity not able to fulfill a need or requirement. Inadequate in amount or degree. A deficient education. Falling short of some prescribed norm. Not auspicious, boding ill. A person who suffers misfortune. Not favored by fortune, marked or accompanied by or resulting in ill fortune. An unfortunate turn of events. Unsuitable or regrettable. An unfortunate choice of words. Used of sums of money, so small in amount as to deserve contempt. Marked by poverty befitting a beggar. A beggarly existence in the slums. Of housing or residential areas, indicative of poverty. A slummy part of town. Used of sums of money, so small in amount as to deserve contempt. Intend to refer to. Yes, I meant you when I complained about people who gossip. Marked by poverty befitting a beggar. A mean hut. Of no value or worth. Denote or connote. Maison means house in French. Have as a logical consequence. The water shortage means that we have to stop taking long showers. Used of persons or behavior, characterized by or indicative of lack of generosity. A mean person. An average of n numbers computed by adding some function of the numbers and dividing by some function of n. Approximating the statistical norm or average or expected value. The mean annual rainfall. Have in mind as a purpose. I mean no harm. Having or showing an ignoble lack of honor or morality. Taking a mean advantage. Mean or intend to express or convey. You never understand what I mean. Characterized by malice. In a mean mood. Destine or designate for a certain purpose. These flowers were meant for you. Excellent. Famous for a mean backhand. Not prepared or ready for. Without income or means. Left his family unprovided for. Lacking funds. An occasion for excessive eating or drinking. They went on a bust that lasted 3 days. Search without warning. Make a sudden surprise attack on. Separate or cause to separate abruptly. Go to pieces. Ruin completely. He busted my radio. Break open or apart suddenly and forcefully. The chest of a woman. Lacking funds. A complete failure. A sculpture of the head and shoulders of a person. Poor enough to need help from others. Demanding or needing attention, affection, or reassurance to an excessive degree. Needy people collectively. They try to help the needy. Not having enough money to pay for necessities. Not having enough money to pay for necessities. Excessively unwilling to spend. Lived in a most penurious manner, denying himself every indulgence. Not having enough money to pay for necessities. Sounding as if the nose were pinched. Very thin, especially from disease or hunger or cold. Small pinched faces. As if squeezed uncomfortably tight. Her pinched toes in her pointed shoes were killing her. Poor enough to need help from others. Lacking funds. Skint is a British slang term. Lacking funds. Lacking funds. Poor enough to need help from others. Completely wanting or lacking. Young recruits destitute of experience.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.